The big Wave 5 reveal happened earlier this week, and something that we kind of brushed over in hindsight was the new track from Mario Kart Tour, and this is something we need to talk about. So let me start by saying, I don't usually cover, the new courses, or nitro courses as many call them, but today is very different for reasons you all are likely aware of. So when it comes to analyzing new tracks, pointing out small details isn't really my thing. I'm excited to play them, but it's not really the details of the tracks that stick out to me in these trailers, but rather, which tracks will even be recreated that I'd find intriguing. There's a puzzle aspect to it all that you don't really get from new tracks, because there's an infinite amount of new track ideas and a finite amount of pre-existing retro courses. But then these screenshots were posted the other day. It was the first thing I saw on Thursday morning after hopping on Discord, and when I realized what I might be looking at, I was jolted fully awake. Was I looking at the Metroid Dread of the Mario Kart series? So to those of you who don't know the lore here, there was a beta track for Mario Kart DS codenamed Dokan Course, or Pipe Course. It was a track that MKDS modders seemed to play all the time, and as a kid who didn't know anything about mods at the time, watching it on YouTube was like the coolest thing ever to me. I knew about Dokan Course before I even knew about Mario Kart Wii custom tracks, and that's how old it was. And for the CTGP players out there, you might know this track as Warp Pipe Island, which was a recreation of this original DS test course. So it's really crazy to sit here talking about Nintendo themselves potentially doing a remake of this track. Dokan Course was obviously unfinished, maybe it was just meant to be a test course after all, or perhaps it was just cut in development. But I thought the enclosed pipe sections were cool, if a little silly. Now, I would be lying if I said this new course didn't look strikingly similar to the vibe they had going with this old test track. Initially, I was convinced it was just a straight-up remake, or rather another attempt at first. But after some time to sit on it, I think it is most likely a track that was just heavily inspired by Dokan Course. Look, I'm gonna be honest here. I would still be on board, but I was tired when I saw this announcement, and of course excited, but the start-finish line is just backwards. The end of Dokan Course featured a green pipe exit like this, but it now appears to be an entrance to the beginning of the laps. There's also some split paths that we can clearly see on one of the screenshots, but I thought that, maybe this could just be a revamped section, but the original Dokan Course had no split paths at all. It's also possible that this is just a reverse variant, or maybe even the devs originally wanted it to go this direction. Upon seeing the trailer though, it seems that the course both starts and ends with a pipe, so who really knows? Maybe it doesn't matter that much. The funny thing about a test course in this situation is that because the original source material was unfinished, if there are even remote similarities, one could argue that this was supposed to be the original vision. And that argument does hold some value actually. The courses featured enclosed pipes in the original, and the game didn't really know how to handle that, I think. But perhaps it was a test for the features found in DS Rainbow Road. But in a universe where anti-gravity exists, these concepts could suddenly become fully realized. The course's name is officially Piranha Plant Pipeline, which is a little bit strange for a multitude of reasons. First, Piranha Plant Slide already has the alternative European name of Piranha Plant Pipeway, which is very similar, almost identical. But the other weird thing is that we expect new Tour Nitro courses to be in Wave 6, and this means that it would be joining Mario Kart 8 Deluxe alongside Piranha Plant Cove. So now we have one mystery course, 3 retros, 2 cities, and 2 Piranha Plant tracks, ready to go for the next wave if we're all correct up to this point. Definitely a strange situation when considering track variety is usually taken into account, and as this tweet points out, definitely weird that we might have more Piranha Plant tracks than Bowser's Castles in the final game. I've seen some takes that they wouldn't put both these courses in, but despite the similarities, Pipeline is not a retro course, so there's no reason to believe that it won't be in Wave 6 as of right now. And ironically, its presence makes the aforementioned mystery course even more of a mystery. We had a lot of discussion on the last video regarding what the mystery course would even be. Most AD players are hoping it is a retro track like Airship Fortress, myself included, and most Tour players are hoping for a final Nitro course so they actually have new content. I think it is more likely than not that it will just be a new Tour Nitro though. And I feel like this needs to be stated because I don't want everybody to just take away from my last video that, oh yeah, it's going to be a retro track. Because while it's possible, I don't really believe that. They still have plenty of months to make a new track, and perhaps they actually could just keep a secret for once. Perhaps it's the Mob NU, despite the rumors that that's just a test course. Hey, maybe Mob NU will show up in 2041's MK10 Booster Pass Final Wave if that's the case. But admittedly, there's no current evidence that a new course exists just yet. I remember talking about the spiderweb assets hinting at some kind of spooky Halloween track. Well, we see them here, so cross that idea off the list. Of course, there's the Mob DK track that we felt certain would arrive to Deluxe also, and it is arriving. And this is because Piranha Plant Pipeline feels almost certain to be the rumored Mob DK course. For a long time, there were rumors that Mob DK would be a Donkey Kong type of follow-up to Yoshi's Island as a new course, and then people believed it would stand for Daisy Kingdom or Sarasa Land. This tweet really puts things into context. It was staring us in the face the entire time, and we never put two and two together. I know people are wanting to be cautious because Dokan is a single word, but the odds that this doesn't stand for DK just seems incredibly low given what we know now. We will learn more soon about what to expect when modders can get the Wave 5 course IDs after they drop, and we'll learn about whether or not Moonview Highway was actually a replacement, most likely. But as far as the new courses go, it seems we've got almost nothing to work off of. Mob DK standing for Mobile Dokan also doesn't mean that this is necessarily Dokan Course either. Remember, Dokan is just a translation of pipe. The course features pipes. And if that course actually was coming to MKDS at any point in development, Dokan Course probably would not have even been the name. But my takeaway is that it doesn't really matter if the course is a remake or a new one entirely. To me, it takes clear inspiration from this old beta course, and I think that's cool enough. The track never really had an official name, so Nintendo can't make it official anyway, unless it's an exact replica. The new music seems cool. Part of me hears some similarities between the new song and SEQ Circuit 2, the original DS beta song featured in most of the videos showing off these test tracks back in the day. But I'm probably just wanting to hear that, if anything. Anyways, one final thing. At the end of the year after Wave 6's launch, I was hoping to run a tournament series that has rounds emulating each of the prior MK games. This game will have so many retro courses at this point that each one has a sizable amount of tracks from each title in the series. So for the MKDS segment, I was expecting to have a perfect 12 courses to be played, just like a normal competitive MK8 match. But then Mushroom Bridge, which I was kind of expecting to be in the game, did not actually come to the game. So in actuality, it appears we're going to have 11 courses from MKDS in the final game. But maybe it's not so bad, because perhaps I found a course that would still be a fitting 12 in spirit through this one. If you're interested in playing in this event, I will probably run it in my Discord server shortly after Wave 6 releases. And as always, the link is in the description if anyone wants to join the Discord server. And that wraps us up for the day. If you enjoyed the discussion, I have some other similar topics on the way later on that we'll hopefully be covering after getting to play Wave 5 for a few days. A like and a subscription always helps out a ton and helps get those future videos out to more people faster, so please consider it if you like the video. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next one, and thanks for watching.